I'm legally obligated to tell you not to try and actually consume your video games. Most of them are forged of plastic, code, and whatever sorcery that makes 3DS cartridges so invincible anyway, so they are almost positively not edible. If they were, though, which ones would be the most delicious? This has nothing to do with how good or bad a game plays. I'm just going to take the traits a game has and use them to decide whether that title would make a good meal or not. For example, I would not want to eat the Order 1886, because it would be like one of those comically tiny plates you get in an upscale restaurant. Oh sure, it looks fancy, but it's pretending to be something it's not, costs way too much for what you're ultimately getting, and doesn't have much for you to sink your teeth into anyway. I would not want to eat Gears of War because it would be so packed with meat and cheese I'm pretty sure I'd suffer a heart attack, and I would not want to eat Twitch Plays Pokemon because it would literally just be a 10-pound block of spam. Alright, look, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. The internet is full of video game countdowns. Every possible subject that any sane person would bother searching for has already been covered extensively at that. So, once in a while, just as a refreshing change of pace, you need to intentionally make a really, really bad one. Something you can have fun with that stretches your creative writing skills while also being functionally pointless in the attracting new subscribers department. And yup. That's a yup. So, I'm Whatthefnu, and this is Team Pizza's Top 8 Games I Would Eat.
Number 8.
Now here's a weird little Japanese dish that's definitely not for everybody, but appeals to a certain set of taste buds very well. It's an honest meal, made by a chef that knows exactly why people are coming to his restaurant and just embraces it. Eating onechambara would be kinda like going to In-N-Out Burger. Sure, the menu may seem simple, but that just gives them the power to do one thing really, really well. On that same token, though, you go into this knowing it's still junk food. This is not the kind of thing you'd want to eat all the time, but it excels at being that food you treat yourself to every once in a while. Plus, if the thought of breasts smothered in red sauce doesn't get your motor running, you're frankly beyond my help. Great service, nice pieces of meat, not much flavor admittedly, but in the end, I feel full.
Number 7.
Here's the thing, I don't like vegetables on pizza. I don't like beans in my burritos. I avoid most soups because they usually have green beans mixed in or some crap like that. I'm a carnivore at heart, and I imagine the best game to satisfy my craving for protein would be Super Meat Boy. Well, Onigiri as well, but that's a little too much meat for my tastes. Team Meat prepared this one just about perfectly. It's well cooked, it's got just the right amount of char, it's covered in a nice salty rub, and just when you think you're done, you get a second portion for free. Sure, it's a little hard to chew in places, but you'll get to the really juicy bits eventually. Plus, all the side dishes are great complements to the main course without taking anything away. It's hearty, juicy, and satisfying in all the right ways. So much to the chagrin of Bandage Girl, I would totally chow down on Meat Boy.
Number 6.
You may try to compare this to my Gears of War example, but the thing is, in Costume Quest, the candy is not the only thing on the plate. There's some real meat here, with solid turn-based combat and a lighthearted sense of humor that gives it more than enough character to be interesting. Costume Quest is like the Monte Cristo of video games. You've got the meat, the sweet, the savory. Those are 3 things your body craves right off the bat, and for the price, you even get a pretty solid portion as well. The only thing holding this meal back is the guy serving it to you. Have you ever had that server? The guy who's clearly not happy with the direction their life has taken? Who messes up your order, takes it back to the kitchen, and 2 hours later it still comes back slightly wrong? The guy who gives you that condescending look when you rightfully complain about all this, like your concerns aren't valid? That's Tim Schafer, and because of that, I can tell you who's not going to be getting a tip from me in the near future.
Number 5.
Tell me, how do you like your duck? Do you like it cooked to perfection in a broiling oven? Or do you like the more piecemeal approach of the cold cut? Do you like it to be tenderized a little beforehand? Or maybe you want a meal that's catered a bit more specifically to you? Do you like your duck all dressed up with all the fixings? Or is your preparation approach a bit more unconventional? However you like your duck, Duck Game will give it to you. It provides you with an absolutely irresponsible number of tools to make the kind of duck you've always dreamed of eating, exactly the way you want to eat it. And whether you want to eat that duck alone or with company, you'll all get the exact same VIP treatment. Now that's service.
Number 4.
Let's face it, you can't eat the same thing day in and day out. Sometimes you need a bite of something a bit more exotic, something you don't typically have in your day-to-day routine. And for me, personally, that's where Guacamelee comes in. This game is a slice of a rich and vibrant culture, with a billion exciting tastes to enjoy, all wrapped up in a burrito so big it spans the table. You've got the super satisfying, downright meaty combat. There are plenty of sugar skulls, you've got a nice big portion of chicken, the humor is corny in the best possible ways, and of course, it's all smothered in everyone's favorite superfood. I mean, the title itself is a food pun. This thing has gotta be delicious in at least some way. Just, make sure you don't bite into a goat horn.
Number 3.
Oh dude, I would eat Splatoon in a heartbeat. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of burgers, hot dogs, corn on the cob, watermelon, popsicles, just basically everything that makes you think of summer. It's also got one hell of a sushi bar, but for some reason everybody gives you the evil eye when you use it. Splatoon gets you in the mood for those hot days with cool friends, wasting the hours away doing nothing important in particular. It makes time go by way too fast, but you still look back on it fondly knowing every second was a good one. It makes you want to stop what you're doing, put on your swim trunks, and hop straight back into those good old days. And then you realize it's still the middle of January and you're like, yeah, I'll wait. It's blazing hot and cool as ice at the same time. Just the kind of thing I'd want to bust out at a picnic.
Number 2.
I'll tell you what, sometimes the best meals are the ones you make yourself. It's that satisfying feeling you get when you know it was homemade with care and attention. When you can bite into it knowing you earned this, and that every single morsel is the product of your hard work. That's what Harvest Moon is like, the best comfort food you've ever had. It would be sweet and warm like a sugar cookie, but it also has that melt-in-your-mouth quality that reminds you of the good old days. Those tastes that defined your childhood and never fail to make you happy. Those dinners you used to have with your family, just spending time together. After all, food is always better when you share it with someone else. At the end of the day, nobody knows your taste better than you do, which is why this country fried classic would make an absolutely amazing meal.
It's number 1.
I couldn't not do this. Any game made by a company called Vanillaware already has my mouth watering. But then you actually look at the food in these games and you immediately want a slice. Food is amazing in Vanillaware games. It doesn't just heal you like in most RPGs. This stuff can give you experience, bolster your stats, and make your whole party much more prepared for the journey ahead. This stuff is so good that the soul power you gain from eating it can be used to fuel a forge for demonic swords. George Kamitani and his crew are masters at their craft. Their experience lets them know exactly how to communicate an idea to their audience through their art with doctor-like precision. And those are exactly the kinds of talents any veteran chef would kill for. Looking at these games is like watching the Food Channel. All you want when you're sitting there watching people chow down on these amazing dishes is to be eating what you're seeing on the screen right now. In a perfect world, every meal I ever ate would be made by someone this incredibly talented, and I would savor every single bite. Oh man, now I'm hungry. Where's my logo? Wait. Oh, crap. Nobody panic. I can fix this. Aha! There we go. There. Much better. Hey everybody, thanks for putting up with what was essentially me bullshitting around for 10 minutes. I've made better countdowns than this, I swear. In fact, you can watch one of them by clicking this annotation right here. Or if you want something more thought-provoking to chew on, why not check out my rant on the importance of game preservation. We also have a gameplay channel should you find yourself a fan of that kind of content. We play all kinds of games over there, from Punch Club and Renowned Explorers to Bloodborne and Just Cause 3, so check it out when you get the chance. Stalk me on Facebook and Twitter by clicking the links in the description, as well as the Team Pizza Facebook and Twitter accounts to keep track of what all our members are doing together. And as always, please be sure to subscribe so you can catch new countdowns just like this one every single... well, you'll get them eventually. Until then, I'm Whatthefnu. Later, everybody!